What up everybody, today we're going to be doing something I've always wanted to do. Look at my 2016 skin loadout and compare it to my 2022 skin loadout. See which skins I should have held on to, see which skins have appreciated in value, which was the best investment, and see which skins I still have today and have held on to. I remember making this video a hell of a long time ago. It's been 6 years now, so it's going to be a really interesting insight into the market. Our very first weapon, the Karambit Fade in StatTrak. Back then it was $1,000. This is a skin I have held onto right at the beginning of my inventory here. Sparkle's so faded, you'll also notice it is ranked number 10. That is because there are a very limited number of StatTrak Karambit Fades in circulation. I believe it's 20 actually, to be precise. And you may also notice that I own the majority of them. There are only maybe 2 or 3 now in circulation that aren't on my account or aren't on banned accounts. And these people I've been trying to contact for years to sell it to me, and they just either point blank refuse or just don't answer, so they're pretty much impossible to get. So I kind of consider myself having every single StatTrak Karambit Fade minimal wear basically in the entire game. So it's really hard to put a price on these things. You won't be able to find them on any markets whatsoever. However, if I visit Buff, which is basically the standard that I'm going to use for this whole video of skin prices because it is the current cheapest on sale price for that item, we'll see that actually when they were selling quite a long time ago, they were only selling for like 750 or so. So technically this one might actually be a little bit of a loss. However, considering I own basically all of them in circulation now, I think that may also affect the price and it may skyrocket. Who knows? This one is really hard to put a price on. Next skin, the Fire Elemental P2000 in StatTrak. The value back then was $65, and they don't look like they've changed that much. They're selling for like 60, that's the cheapest, to about, yeah, it's a similar range. This skin, not the best investment, but I never held on to it. I got rid of it, it just looked cool. Valance, StatTrak, factory new. These things might have been from like a new case or something at the time, but the current price is about $10, so that means if you invested in a whole bunch of these, you'd only get like 50% of your return. But surprise, surprise, I didn't hold on to that one either. Next up, Scout Blood in the Water, factory new StatTrak. The value back then was $350. This one even had a nice little Katowice 2014 Fnatic sticker on it. But the price of this one has not changed too much. Actually, it's depreciated. The cheapest on Buff right now is about $280. So a little bit of loss on this one actually. I was hoping for a bit more appreciation. Desert Eagle Blaze. The value back then was $55. I am certain about this one. Big investment. Currently, they start at about $350. If you stocked up on these back in 2016, you would be laughing. Next skin, the StatTrak factory new M4A4 Howl. Now, unfortunately, I didn't hold on to this one. What an idiot. This probably would have been one of my best investments if I didn't get rid of this at the time. It was in StatTrak. I'm pretty sure it was in factory new, possibly minimal wear, but you would have practically 10 times your investment if you held on to that. Since then, it's selling for nearly $15,000. That's a sad one to have gotten rid of. Next skin, the Nova Hyper Beast StatTrak factory new. It cost in 2016 $26. In 2022, the minimum you can get it for is about $38. Good investment. I'm not going to check out this skin because it's a little bit low value. I'm figuring it probably has just stayed around the same value. However, the Org Akibara, except we all know that this one is going to have skyrocketed. I did actually sell this one quite recently on SkinBid. I made a video where I sold all of my skins. I'll put that up in the corner of your screen somewhere. I think it might be that side. But this was one of the skins that I let go of. I remember it was in minimal wear, and the cheapest minimal wear you can get right now is about $1,600 compared to the $233 it cost back then. Those are big gains. Once again, a little bit too low value for me to concentrate on. The P250 Mendy, I think this might have appreciated just a tiny bit. Let's check it. Actually appreciated a lot more than I thought. StatTrak factory new starting at about $49. They used to cost $14 back in the day. And oh dear, this next one. This next one's going to be a sad one. Warp Dragon Lore factory new. Back then, $1,500. Nowadays, price $9,260. This, along with the HAL, would have been just an incredible investment. I think the HAL's actually appreciated a tiny bit more than the D-Law, but the D-Law's still seen just ginormous gains. It got discontinued in the game in terms of the Cobblestone collection, and the supply diminished and diminished, and it's just one of those big gainer skins. However, I still do have a factory new Dragon Lord, so I've kind of held on to that one anyway. 5.7, case hardened. Wasn't a blue gem, but it still looked pretty cool. Cost $70 back in 2016, StatTrak Factory New. However, now, apparently, it costs about 30. Now this is quite a special one, the Mag 7 Bulldozer. I'm pretty sure it was in Factory New, and I even styled it out with all of these yellow stickers to match. $45 in 2016. 2022, we're starting at about 105. Good investment on the Mag 7. The Scar 20 Crimson Web, a little bit too low value. I'm also going to say the MP9 Rose Iron's probably a little bit low value. I think that's probably appreciated though. I do want to check that, the Rose Iron. Yeah, it's almost doubled in value. Not the biggest gains, but respectable. This one is a gainer for sure. The Ump Blaze, value back 2016, $8. Whereas in 2022, actually, $11. I thought it would be a hell of a lot more than that. I'm actually a little surprised, not gonna lie. Nebula Crusader will skip on because it's a little bit low value. The P90 Death by Kitty in StatTrak Factory New, that has to have gone up, right? 271 in 2016. Actually, it might be more like minimal wear than Factory New. Can you even get it in Factory New? I'm not sure, but it starts at about 188 nowadays. So that has actually gone down. It's gone down in value, which sucks because I really like that skin. We'll skip some of these lower value skins like the Negative Power Loader. The Glock Fade, I know this one's going to be a gainer. I already know it. I'm holding on to it still. It was a gift, so I can never get rid of it. Here it is in my inventory from Radiant XL, just like in the video, with all exactly the same stickers. I've kept it. Obviously, I'm never going to sell it because it was a gift. I think it was back in 2013, 2014 that somebody gifted me this. $350, 2016, $864, 2022. Considerable gains on that one, more than double. I really like the Sawn Off Kraken. Back then in Factory New StatTrak it was $19. However, in 2022 it is nearly $30. So nearly a third increase on the Kraken, respectable. A little chatterbox, I feel like it was so cheap back then. But then again, I don't have any idea on the condition. Oh. Rambit Ruby in StatTrak. This is a skin I did not hold on to. A very expensive skin, especially for back then. So I'm going to be very interested to see the kind of prices people are paying for this nowadays. The very cheapest Ruby I can find. The Sapphires are still more expensive, the blue one. But the nice red shiny one I had back then in 2016 for $3,500 has appreciated a little bit. Not the highest percentages, but the cheapest one I can find on buff right here is $5,100. So decent gains. Next up, the Mach 10 Neon Rider in Factory New StatTrak. I love this skin. $23 in 2016, 2022, $21. It's lost value. I'm not entirely sure if I based these in 2016 off the Steam market prices, which would explain a little bit of the lost value, especially in that one, because obviously the reference price is about a third higher. But you couldn't even get Steam prices for something like a Karambit Ruby. Next up, the AK-47 Fire Serpent in Factory New StatTrak. This one's going to be a gainer, I know it. One of my favorite skins of all time. It's just an incredible skin. It's so sick. And in Factory New, when there's no kind of damage or wear whatsoever on the mag, it just looks so sexy. $1,100 back in 2016, 2022. $5,347. It's not our best gainer of the video. I think that was a 10 times, but this is still pretty ridiculous, like a 5 times on a skin that was already incredibly expensive. But obviously since then it's just got more and more rare and less in circulation. They're quite hard to trade up to actually, because you need specific float values just to get that Factory New. I remember this video where I thought that I'd got the Factory New, and I had calculated it wrong. I hit the minimal wear. That was really sad, because obviously the Factory New is $5,300, but if you make that little mistake of making it minimal wear, you lose out on over half the value. $2,400 for the minimal wear edition. This skin was also part of the skins that I sold recently and cashed out in the video that I mentioned earlier. And that is it, the end of the loadout video. But we can't actually complete the video without talking about a certain legendary skin that I managed to box back in 2016 as well. This was obviously the factory new Souvenir Dragonlore. Amazing. I sold this thing pretty much as soon as I unboxed it back in 2016 for $30,000 USD bank transfer straight in there. I thought, wow, what an absolute killing I've made. Unfortunately, if we compare that to the price of Souvenir Factory New Dragonlores in 2022, there are only 3 currently listed on Buff, and the very cheapest one is starting at $314,000. I don't know if this is an entirely realistic price for them, but I'm almost certain they're going to be in the like 100,000, maybe 150,000 range, maybe even over that to the correct collector. We could be getting up in the 200,000s or so. Maybe even the listed price 300,000 here to the right person. This technically would have been my best investment skin of all time. Unfortunately, I didn't see it as an investment, I saw it as an instant cash out. But hey, since 2016 we've grown a lot, we've learned a lot, and you can't cry too much over spilled milk, right? I think that's the expression. This is how much all the skins cost me back then in 2016 that I mentioned. It was over $10,000, whereas this right here is the price it would be in 2022. Who knew that CSGO skins would be such an incredible sick investment? But I definitely made some serious gains on the skins I did hold on to back then. What's your best investment skin of all time? What did you hold on to if you've been playing the game that long? And what is it worth now? Or on the flip side, like the Souvenir Dragonlore, what is your biggest regret in the skin world? I'm genuinely interested in all of your personal stories, and I will read the comments, so please leave them below. Maybe reading some of your sob stories might make me feel better about the Dragonlore. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.